Well, welcome back to the channel. It's Farmer Clay. Today we're going to do a little fence rolling. Got some woven wire that's in the ground. It's going to be a little difficult because it's buried in the dirt, but we'll see if we can't get it out. But right now I got my homemade invention put on that I built for just such an occasion. It's my hydraulic wire roller. Everything I built here myself, put together, so feed it on through here and wrap it on up. Makes a pretty tight roll. Those are reusable spools that I have, so you just spin them out backwards and works pretty good. So we'll go on out there and hook onto some wire and see if we can struggle through it. Like I said, it's going to be difficult just because we're going to be buried in the ground. I know there's about 8 inches of dirt on a lot of it, so we'll see what we can't pull out and kind of tug away using the tractor back and forth. Normally I can just set up at the end of the field and just pull it all in, but I'm going to have to drive up the field, I think, and pull on it and pull it out as I go. So I'll keep moving forward and see if we can't get it up today. So I'm in the Massey. We're going to go see if we can't go get this wire rolled up. I think I'm king of the dirty windows mafia. I don't know if other people have dirtier, show them off, I guess, but I was grinding some grain for cousin and wind was blowing the wrong direction, so this is one of my, probably my favorite tractor. Granted, I mean, it's my first new tractor, so it makes it naturally my favorite tractor, but one thing I did right off the bat is I did have that third remote put in just for the simple fact so I could run stuff like this. And this is the remote that I ran the hoses up and through the loader and out of that mount. So got the GPS and the laptop or the tablet holder too. Bar up on the pillar. It's all factory up there. So come on up here and see if the wife will get that four-wheeler pulled out of the way. She's handier than a pocket watch. But as you can see, that's the line of fence that we're gonna try to get rolled up and out of there. So we'll see how it likes it today. We'll hop on out and feed it in and show you how I set it all up in there. Grab me some cutters real quick. It doesn't take much to secure it to it. Of course, as I say that, it'll probably not work now. I got a new microphone on my lapel, so we'll see how that works with this. The up angle, if you tip it up like that, that is what gives you tension. start wrapping. Aim a little bit of there. I got a post under my tire, I gotta move. And then we're just gonna slowly creep on this as we go, just because I said it's in the dirt, so. Let's see if it'll pull it out of that dirt. I really don't plan on reusing this wire, but see if I can't pull it on out a little bit here. It's not normally how I do it, but this is some of our older wovens, so we're gonna pull on out again and see if we can't suck this up, and then we'll pull into the field again and we'll pull a bunch of it free. I sure hope this lapel mic is making it all the way over to it. I can't tell for sure because that's kind of a pain in the butt doing it this way, but by God, it's still better than doing it by hand, so I'm not complaining too much there. God, this fence has been in God knows how long. This has been there my whole life, so Getting this fence here, I'm not that. This is all just going to the scrap. Big old dirt clod up in there. We got halved anyways. Alright, we're gonna pull it out again. So we'll get this pulled out. That's clear, that's a job. Get a really job. We'll leave a nice tight coil. Okay, run down, down. Too much. Probably you can do that too. You're going to feel it. I don't know if I'm right. But I'll yeah, it'll be hard. But also it's going to be like, that's what we're doing. I'm like, it's something. Yeah. So then okay. You're right. Okay. Look at it. Okay. Well, 50 minutes it is. Yeah. Exciting. So you got tension on it, right on the edge. So I'm going to get back to the tension on a little bit. What's skipping out there?
Your chain.
Is that the chain?
Yeah.
I wish you had told me that sooner. Grab some tools. GoPro, stop recording. I'm gonna slow those little hydraulics down. tried slowing the hydraulics down, but I didn't like that on that remote, so. Is that my chain skipping again, or what?
I can't tell.
I think it's just I'm putting too much torque on it, so we'll pull it on out again. There ain't much left of that old fence. It's a little monkey around, but I got it still in my hand. Alright, let's go take a chain again. If you run the hydraulics, pull forward on it a little bit.
Which one?
The one closest to the door. Okay. I think this is probably one of the hardest pulls I've ever done. And that's go up in the tractor and drive forward. Please. What's up, bud?
Nothing.
Hey, love. Alright, we'll just go slow and see if we can't get her to finish. Probably have to weld a piece of strip underneath down here. That'll keep that so-called honest. So that way it doesn't want to tip down and it slides back and forth. And then I might weld a, put in a bracket underneath that goes under that motor where I could adjust the tension with a nut on it. But I don't ever pull stuff out of the ground like this, so this is kind of a one-off for me. Oh, that might sound good.
Loosened up again. Get loosened up.
Yeah, I know. I know what it is now. I just didn't know what it was before. Let's just do this while we're hooked up. We'll probably have to empty this one and take it to the shop and weld that piece on there. I don't want to break anything or mess up the sprocket. Woo. See, this stuff got really deep up here because when we had that field plowed, we had terrible winds that winter and no freezes or snow, so it just blew all the sand and dirt off of it. This isn't the prettiest roll, but it's a garbage roll, and that's all we were going to do with it anyways. One of the ugliest balls I've ever done. This one might be a bit heavy. Oh yeah. We got the rod pulled out. We ended up cheating using the four-wheeler. Undo your wire up on the top here. Spin that backwards. Pull that out. Spin it backwards. Oh, my cutters are up top. Alright, give it a lift. I'll do it backwards. That's tight. Let's see. Whew. Grass got this bound up. Try that. There we go. Just gotta find the sweet spot. Put it down. We're gonna put it down. We're not gonna hook up the wire. I'm gonna go in and see if I can't help my my chain over here. See if we can't help that out. So again, I normally don't pull this hard through like the dirt and buried and all that, but thank you, Rafe. Give her a push, Rafe. Hang on. Turn it 90. And there we go. Push. Holes lined up?
No?
Yep. Alright. That'll hold it till we get there. Alright, we're gonna head back to the shop and I'll do a little more design work and engineering on it. It's probably the roughest stuff I've pulled out of here so far, so we'll see how it goes. I'll come back and We'll pick up where we left off out here in the field. We ain't got a whole lot left. All right, so I got this here in the shop. I've never pulled anything quite as hard as what I've been doing here today. Most of the time I got the wire already out of the ground and I was just trying to skip some steps. So maybe that teach me, but it'll help me beef this up. So this is a chunk of iron. It's about 1/4 inch thick, 1.5 inches by 6 inches. I put 3 holes in it. Got it clamped in, so it'll be basically a slide rail for this unit, for the motor to go back and forth on. So I'm gonna weld those 3 holes in. Sorry about that on the phone call. I had to take it as a ditch writer about if I wanted irrigation to start irrigating again or not right now. So, but yeah, just to recap, so I'm just gonna plug weld these 3 holes on in there to try to help hold that. I didn't want any weld on the top. I wanted a smooth square surface for it to slide back and forth, and I think those 3 would be sufficient just to keep it from pitching. So I'll do that. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. I didn't plan on doing this much on it. I figured I could get just the bolts to hold it, but what I was encountering is just rotating too much, just a little too much play in there. So if I could keep the rotation out of it and let it slide back and forth, I think that'll work. I don't think I need to weld on anything here to, I was thinking about putting like a nut, weld a nut onto this and a piece of plate here, and then that way I can use it for pulling it back and forth, but I don't know, that might be a bit overkill for right now. I think the bolts will hold it with that there. I could be wrong, maybe I'll have to, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Just trying to keep this as minimal as possible and operational and as easy as can be, so. Yeah, don't touch that because that's hot. These are the old bolts. I'm pretty sure I stretched them out there in the field. I can't remember if I jingle. Really? All right. And I do know that the overall problem with this started just by too much pull aggressiveness, maybe operator issue. I won't deny any of that. Get this up in there. So that's there. Well, probably a little tighter than it should be, but we'll see what it does. I don't got much left to do on this fence line like this, and I just got barbed wire I got to do. That might work good. Let's see if we can fish over a little bit. Laying it nice and flat back in there. Still a garbage roll, but makes me wonder how many twists we're going to have when we get up here. See if we can pull the rest out. Like I said, this is the worst part of the field here. Look at all that dirt. That might be a problem. The fence line's so overgrown, I don't think anybody's going to notice it's gone. Alright. Want to go free those up? Yeah, strict instructions to edit her. This is the best my editing goes. Boop. Oh. It's hot out and the bugs are terrible. Little gnats are flying around. So we each got these shirts on. I have the hood too. Makes it really nice. It's UV protection, kind of keeps it cool. They are long sleeve, but it's been pretty nice even in these 100-degree days having these on. So what a wife. I didn't know what really to expect by pulling it in without freeing it from the ground. I've done a couple updates, I guess, as you say, as you come along on it. One of them's been there's a coupler I put on the shaft that makes it a lot tighter. It's right down in that corner right there of the shaft. It makes it a lot tighter, a lot firmer for pulling, and so it's made it possible to pull like this, because before I would have just sheared bolts off down in there. So now I got a drive collar to drive it, to spin it. And then the next obvious weak link was the chain tension on it. But with that spacer there, it seems to be holding good so far. It's not able to rock and slide in position on forward, so I don't know. I might end up putting a tightening bolt in there on it to help keep everything in line as well, so it has positive tension from the back as well. So we'll steer this over a little bit, feed the other way. Going a little slower. Normally, like I said, I could just park and I just pull it on in. But in this case here, we're just having to drive the field, which I'm okay with. We're still doing better than by hand, that's for sure. Got my hydraulics on that remote turned down. There is a switch on the back, a valve on the back that you can screw and adjust. Oh, look at that. All off. Oops, sorry. Big old wad of sod up there. Just about to the end. Then we'll come and we'll drop the barbed wire, and I'll pull that on in, and I just do one strand at a time on that, and then I can use it somewhere else, because this isn't terrible barbed wire, but I don't know, maybe I'll put it in a ball and sell it to somebody else that's harder up than I am. God, she's good. I edited you out of the camera.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
I put my finger over you as you're moving around. And that tree is gonna have to come out of the fence line too. No trespassing sign back there, you see it? Whew. Good Lord, there's some dirt. Apparently there's a staple in that post. Well, that's into that. We're gonna go pull this bar out, tie it off, pull it out next to this other one, and then we'll go get the other spool for barbed wire. And then we'll come down the fence line and pull the staples on the barbed wire and see what we can get done there. Actually, I take that back. We got another small section woven. We're gonna go pull it real quick. All right, so we're back down here at the bottom of the field, at the beginning of it all. We got just this small section of fence here that went from here down to there at that white fence. We're gonna pull it on in, and there's a bunch of small odds and ends of scrap barbed wire and the brace post wire and that. I'm gonna lay it into this woven as I pull it in, and then that way it just puts it all together. Because like I said, this is gonna go. We're just gonna ship it on out to the scrap iron. This stuff is some of the old original here, and I don't need it for the cattle, and we don't have sheep anymore, so. I had to straighten it out a little bit so that way it would feed in without trying to crawl over the spool. All right, so we got this one off. these aren't the prettiest, but once again, when you're fighting and pulling it out of the ground and everything else, they're not going to be the prettiest, but still a sizable ball of wire to go in. Got all the other stuff, the riprap tied up into there, 2 strands of barbed wire over here. That'll get pulled in, but yeah, I got the barbed wire one on. It's a lot smaller, but these are tapered those in, they overlap, and then this ready rod through the middle to keep it tight. Don't have to wrench on it or nothing, because once it starts filling, it'll tighten itself up, but you'll need a wrench to take it off. So same principle, just stub through. There's that lock that I made for the shaft, so I don't shear that pin anymore. So the wife is out, she's pulling those 2 staples down off that. I don't like pulling the wire down because it just gets tangled up with the woven, so I leave the wire on when we take the woven off. She's fighting all the rotted posts and stuff, but she'll get it. Then I'll come through and we'll pull all these out and load them up on a trailer and we'll dump them in the burn hole. Well, I'm gonna get these ones hooked up and I'll pull them in and see if we can't get a little bit of that on there. So I'm gonna tie the next strand onto it here. There's probably a whole lot of video that you guys find boring, sorry. If it is, let me know. Post a comment. If you give me a dislike, at least tell me why so I can fix it. Sometimes I'll tie a chunk of iron to the end of it, keep weight on it, and that puts a good amount of tension on it. So that way it's not so loose on the roll, makes it a tighter roll. But you get the gist of that's how it'll turn out. So that's pretty loose on there because it's just flopsy, you know, but when you're running a long one, I found it's real easy. You just tie a piece of something to it and pull it and drag it on through a chunk of iron, something like that. So you see just that little bit has even tightened that up a bit more. So I'll go and help the wife. We'll pull some more clips on out and see if we can't roll in the rest of the stuff today and at least get the wire all off the ground. In about a little bit here, I'm gonna go start some irrigation water. So all right, so we got it set up. I'm gonna tie the wire together, nothing fancy. And then stand by and we'll start pulling it on in. Her father sure taught her well on weird abstract hand signals. Alright, we're coming to the end again. The wife's going to go out and get it. Apparently my posts I tied to the end, I lost them up there a ways. Normally I try to staple them on, but... Well, that's going to be it. I'm going to go in and throw this on the computer and see if I can't make it into something coherent and maybe it looks nice. Let me know what you think of the unit. It's worked pretty good. I've done a lot of fences with it. I loaned it out to a friend. They put it on the back of a bale bed. Said it worked out pretty good for them in pretty rough country. They couldn't get any tractors or equipment into to try to do a power roll, and they didn't want to do it by hand because there was a lot of ups and downs, so they borrowed this on the back of a pickup and brought in, did 2 miles of fencing with it, I believe. So it's not the most robust unit, as you can see, of me having to work on it a little bit each and every time, but it's still better than having to do it by hand, that's for darn sure. So with that, I got all the fencing wrapped up and 2 big wads of woven and this one of barbed wire, and the next step is just go out and pull all the posts out of the ground, and then I got a lot of dirt work to do to try to get those 2 fields combined again. I got 3 trees I'm going to get out of there. I got to call a neighbor, see what the chances are of him coming over with the great big excavator and taking out that cottonwood, because it might be a bit much for me and my stuff that I can rent and use. So but thanks for following along. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. If you didn't like this video, leave a tasteful comment if you would. Keep it somewhat PG for other audiences, but just let me know what I can do differently to make them a little better, So I appreciate you following along. Thank you.